All right, I have an exciting new announcement I wanted to come on and share with you guys today. I have just put the finishing touches on a brand new course, and this one focuses exclusively on multiplication. So this is a pulled out version from my entire Developing Number Sense course that covers all of the math facts. But this way, if you have learners who are 7 to 11 years old or older, if they need to go back and review, this will be a great way for them to get in and understand how multiplication works, what it is, and build out their 1 through 10 facts in a way that lays a foundation so that when they move into higher numbers, they'll have that foundation of facts. So this course covers in depth. We do a deep dive into the 1 through 10 facts. And then it also has 3 separate kind of in-depth units on multi-digit multiplication. And the whole unit starts with hands-on manipulatives, and then we transition to the visual diagrams, and we're picking up and learning strategies all along the way as we go. And then when we get to the multi-digit, we transition even from the visual diagrams, slowly kind of taking scaffolding out as we work our way up through the bigger numbers until we arrive at the traditional US traditional algorithm. So it covers the full spectrum here, but I want to show you, because this is exciting, this is brand new here, that we have this Multiplication Makes Sense course available now. So it's at a lower price point. I do have a coupon code linked in the description above, and you can get it for 20% off currently. This is a complete course here that will help your learners get super confident in their math facts and enjoy the process. My whole focus with all of these courses is to help kids really understand how math works and enjoy learning it, and build a foundation that they can build on. So with everything that I teach, my focus is always to build one cohesive, consistent visual or hands-on experience for what they're learning so that they can take that and scale it up to larger numbers. So that they're not learning isolated things for a certain set of facts, and then you throw in a variation and you have a new set of rules all of a sudden. We want it to be one consistent experience. So this starts, I've talked about it before, but just briefly, because in case you haven't heard me talk about it, we use an abacus as we work through our 1 through 5 facts. And we don't use a traditional abacus in the traditional sense. We do this in a way that's much more like a reckon rec. So if you've seen reckon recs usually have 2 rows of 10 beads, but you can get up to 10. So if you have a 10-row reckon rec, that's the same as what we're doing with the abacus here. And we are building out our entire 1 through 10 facts, but always on prior knowledge. So they're not learning new tricks for every set of facts. They're always building each fact on prior knowledge. And so that means they only need to know their times 1 and times 2 facts. And even with times 2, they only need to know how to skip count by 2s up through 20. Okay, there's no skip counting in the rest of this. There's no separate tricks for all the different things. We're never enforcing time tests and speed drills. This course does include 4 complete games that I've created for this course that focus on their facts for multiplication and division, as well as recognizing factors of each of the numbers. But again, the games are based on the deep understanding of knowing how math works, and then just practicing those skills, sorry, allergies here, until they have a super strong foundation in that. So that's kind of the premise of the course, is we're not doing memory tricks. We're not doing isolated facts so that everything is kind of this huge puzzle. We're not focusing on speed tests, because I truly believe that the speed comes with really knowing and practicing what they're doing, so that they own their understanding, and they can always come back and rebuild facts as needed. And they have that, so that owning that understanding will last them and serve them much longer in life than simply skill and drill memorization. And even Even skip counting has a purpose, but it has a very limited purpose. It helps you get familiar with the factors of certain multiplication numbers, but it doesn't give kids the true sense of what multiplication is. And you have to skip count through, if that's how you memorize, you have to go through the entire set to get to the number you need. And then even if you skip count up through 100 and you learn all of that, what do you do when you get bigger numbers? So we're focusing on building out our facts and laying the 1 through 10 facts as a foundation for building higher numbers. The course gets into all of that. I have a free activity pack with a free, a complete lesson that has 2 videos, an activity pack, some color by number activities, a guided book. They'll make a little book that looks like this. My green screen makes that crazy. Anyways, it's all here, and I'm going to push that link out here. So you can check it out here, but I wanted to take a minute to show you what this looks like. So I'm going to switch here and talk through this for a minute. So we have multiplication makes sense. I want to make sure that this is showing what I'm talking about here. Maybe it's not going to be that easy. Okay, this one. Sorry, I just want to take a minute so I don't waste the whole video doing the wrong thing. Okay, so again, this is a pullout from my entire course. So if you just want to really hone in on helping your kids master multiplication and really understand what they're doing, this will be an ideal course. So for the cost of less than 1 tutoring session in most parts of the country, you can get this entire course with a 63-page activity packet and a 64-page game packet. There's digital quizzes for every single times facts. It takes them deeply through all the times 1 through times 10 facts, and then gives you multiple lessons for the multi-digit problems and more that I'm probably not thinking of at the moment, but let me show you what we got here. So your free lesson is at the bottom. If you scroll through, you'll see the free lesson there. We have a strong focus on sense making, not memorization, because memorization only serves you in the short run. But when you truly build an understanding of how all of this works, it will set you up for success for larger problems, for extended problems. You can apply it to decimals, negative numbers, all kinds of things. It applies when you get up to algebra with multiplying algebraic polynomials and different things. Okay, so here's my little talk about what about skip counting, memory tricks, and time tests, because those are kind of the forerunners for how most programs approach learning multiplication. And I'm not taking any of those as the forefront. The speed and fluency really does come through practicing when you're building the facts based on deeply understanding what's going on. So you can see a preview lesson and get more of a taste of what that looks like here. So this course is built around an abacus, which another word for that is a 10-frame reckon rec. There's video lessons. There's currently 2 video lessons for almost everything in here. They're bite-sized, and I encourage kids while they're watching the lesson to pause and think about the answer and then to continue on. So this whole course is asynchronous. You can take it at the pace your kids need. When your kids need it, you can review it. You can use it for multiple kids in one family. The license applies to one family. So I think it will work really well if you learn each set and then practice and practice and practice until you've truly mastered that, and then go on to the next skill fact. So there's more about that. Graphic organizers. So we have some mini posters. We have these little mini books that serve as guided notes through the video, but also a way for them to refresh their memory on what the strategies are. And then there's a 63 or 64-page PDF file that comes with it that walks them through all of these strategies and how to apply them. And so what I like to say is that we're slowing down on the 1 through 10 facts so that we can speed up on the larger numbers. So we're slowing down to think through what our strategies are. And then we take those strategies and we apply it to bigger numbers, and we can do them almost instantly in our heads. So I'll probably be back at some point to show you an example of what that means, but I'll stick to this for now. Here's games that I made up specifically for this. So we have multiplication tile game, bingo, factors and multiples card game, and a multiplication and division board game to go along with this. For every fact, there's a digital self-grading quiz, and it's not just 7 times 1 through 7 times 10. It really breaks down the strategy and gets it how well kids understand it, and then has the answers automatically, so you can take it as many times as need. You can get instant feedback on that. And then the unit ends with multi-digit multiplication. So here's an example of using the same strategies we do when we slow down to work on the single digit facts. We can extend that. So this is what I'm talking about. You take one strategy, you learn it really well, and then you extend it through everything, up through larger numbers, up through decimals, up through all kinds of variations, up through algebra. It's the exact same strategy, and kids get really good at it. And it helps because they're seeing it in their heads. So you start with hands-on, you move to the visual diagrams, you kind of take away the scaffolding on that until they truly see it in their heads. And then also we're building in enough strategies that they can do variations on it. So they're not just stuck to any type of algorithm. They're really able to think through what it is and think flexibly about it so that they can do whatever they need to do with multiplication in the real world. Okay, then I have a video preview of my philosophy behind the course. Some great testimonials from people who have gone through it. At the moment, this is only offered asynchronously. I actually am currently teaching it live, but I don't know when the next live session will come around again. So if you're interested in taking this course live, contact me and I'll kind of gauge interest and figure out when that will come back around again. But at the moment, for less than one tutoring session, honestly, in most parts of the country, you can get this entire course. And then you can see, here's the free preview lesson. Here's all of the sections in it. And this is part of the complete course. So if you are interested in addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, there's different ways to approach that. Okay, and let me go in and just show you. I think it will let me. Okay, so here's one of the classes. You get a behind the scenes preview here if you're still watching me. Make sure that's showing up. Yep. Okay, so there's 2 videos. One talks you through how it actually looks. So you can do the abacus along with me. And then there's the on paper, just with numbers strategy. And then here's all of the activities that you can do to practice and really master those facts. And then there's a quiz at the end. Okay, so I think that kind of wraps it up. Come back here, and if anybody has any questions, looking at a question here. Okay, so Elizabeth has a great question. This is a good standalone course. So I do have a complete course that we talk about 10 frames. And if you have the chance with a 4 or 5-year-old to start at the very beginning, that gives them the best advantage. If you build up this number sense of seeing numbers in groups of 10s, within that, every group of 10 is broken into 5 so that they can subitize and instantly see every number from 1 through 10. See combinations, they can compose and decompose in their head. That leads really intuitively into addition, subtraction, place value, fact families, and then all of that lays the foundation for multiplication. But this multiplication unit, it's a great question, definitely stands on its own feet. It helps if they have that number sense, because when we get into multiplication, we use the same language of 10 frames. By the way, I'm glad you asked that, because this is what I meant to say. We're using the abacus as if it were 10 frames. But that's a lot faster. So with 10 frames, you have to physically place things in the spots. With an abacus, you just say, okay, 8 is 5 and 3. And you can subitize that because you know it's a group of 5 and a group of 3. I have my lines down the middle of this. So we're integrating the foundation that we've laid with the number sense part of it. But at this point, if kids are 7 to 11 or older, they'll be able to pick that up pretty fluently. Okay, and then every multiplication fact gets broken up into prior knowledge, so it's something that they've already learned. So here, for example, if we're looking at multiplying by 6, we take a look at it as times 5 and times 1. And so they find out how many groups of 5, so 2 groups of 5 and 2 groups of 1, and then they add that. So we're essentially turning every multiplication problem into addition. So it does help if you've taken the addition course, but by this point, most kids have their own way to add, and they can add single and double digit numbers together pretty fluently. And so it's built on addition and prior knowledge. So everything is built on times 1 and times 2. If they know that, they can do everything else. What else was I going to say? I forget. But yes, great question. Thank you. And if anybody else has any thoughts, so again, there's a free lesson that comes with the videos, the activities, the quiz. You can get a really good sense for what this course is. The page that I just posted the link for has a much more in-depth description of what the course is. It also links to the complete course if you want to get that. And I have some special things on the way. I'm building out a lot more digital activities. I may add in challenge videos to every one of these. But the more I add, the more the price will raise. So if you want to get in on this price, especially with a 20% discount code, this is a great chance to do that. All right, so thank you for watching. And if you have any questions, let me know. I will see you guys later.